Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law.
Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't
Okay.
need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
Matter of Phoebe and Walter Wright versus Alan Romero. You're suing him for $750 for breach of contract. You're saying he ruined your gender reveal party. And Mr. Romero, of course, you're denying all of that, right?
Yes, Your
Say
Honor.
I owe them nothing. So tell me about it, Mr. and Mrs. Wright. I need only one of you to speak at a time, and I need one of you to step back. Who's going to be the first person to speak? Okay. How are you, Miss Wright?
I'm good today.
So tell me what happened.
My husband and I have been married for about 4 years, and this is our first child together.
Oh,
so we
congratulations.
thought to have a wonderful gender reveal party added on to our baby shower. And Walter actually suggested that we would get a pink cake that would be revealed after once it's cut that the baby is a girl.
A pink cake?
A pink cake.
Okay.
But it would be covered with white icing so that you wouldn't know until you cut it open.
You wouldn't see the pink until it was cut open?
Yes.
So a cake with white icing, pink inside, and to reveal that it's a girl?
Yes.
Once it was cut?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, when looking for a baker, I went online and I found Alan's Bakery, King Cakes. I called him and he told me that he would love to bake the gender reveal cake for us and that a pink cake with white icing didn't seem like it would be too difficult to make. So I ended up meeting him in person and we went over the designs for the cake, different ideas, and we settled on having a 2-tiered cake that would be a pink sponge cake and then having white icing on the outside. And we also discussed having a design on the outside, having icing writing on top. And after we had discussed this, he had told me that the cake was gonna come out to about $500. So it's really expensive, but I was really in love with the idea of this amazing, elaborate baby shower and gender reveal because it's our first child together. And I paid the $500. We signed a contract and he told me that there was gonna be a 24-hour amendment. So if anything happened, I could notify him any changes that I wanted made to the cake within 24 hours before the delivery, and that he would be able to do it for me. He also assured me that he would deliver the cake personally to our home. So I really thought that he was the best option, especially because he was one of the few bakers that advertised having all natural ingredients in his cakes and not using any artificial dyes or coloring.
Mr. Romero, so far, everything, you agree?
I do agree.
All right.
So up until the week before the party, I had contacted him a month in advance before the party. And with the last week approaching, I got a lot of last minute RSVPs, and we actually ended up finding out that 10 additional guests would be attending. So our guest list increased from 25 to 35. And I was really frantic. I was worried that the cake wouldn't be big enough. So I texted Alan and I asked him with these additional guests if we could find a way to make the cake bigger. And since I had texted him before the 24-hour amendment deadline, he told me that it'd be totally fine. We could add a 3rd tier to the cake and that this would be no issue for him. However—
And no additional cost?
There would be an additional cost, and it was going to be an additional $250. So that put our cake final cost up to $750.
Did you pay him that $250 right away too?
I Venmoed him right away because he requested me to send it since it was a last-minute request, and I just felt like it was too late to back out, so I paid him the full amount.
All right.
Right away.
Now, take it over to you.
Yes, so she did request a cake that did not have artificial coloring in it. I did succeed. I did that for her. She wanted pink. I did pink. Now, when it comes to artificial coloring, I did advise her and her husband as well that they do have to keep the cake refrigerated. Do not take it out the refrigerator until 15 minutes of revealing.
Now it's even clearer.
Yes.
Don't take it out until 15 minutes before.
Yes.
Okay.
I did go to their housing to drop the cake off. And unfortunately, it was a hot day. So I got the cake there. I ended up getting it in the refrigerator. So I deliver my cake and I'm gone. I'm going about my day. I have more deliveries to do. So I leave.
Okay. Now, after he delivered the cake, which was about how long, what time did the party start?
So our party was planned to start around 3 p.m., but he delivered the cake around 2 p.m. We had told him ahead of time that we weren't going to cut the cake until 5 p.m.
That's
so
okay.
He had a lot of time to get it to us. We didn't have a certain time that we wanted it.
So if it was delivered at 2 p.m. and you weren't cutting to 5, you had a lot of time.
Yes. So I wasn't actually there when Alan dropped off the cake.
Who was there?
My husband was there.
Okay, his turn to talk.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
In your mind, you didn't think it would make a difference.
Yes, because he didn't emphasize that.
He said 15 minutes before. He got to stand there and go through a whole long song and dance and keep singing 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Walter and Phoebe Wright, who are suing Alan Romero for breach of contract.
You accept the delivery, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take it from there.
So he came to my door. He didn't ring the doorbell, so I didn't even know he was outside. When I got to him, the box of the cake was warm, and he told me to put it in the refrigerator right away and take it out 15 minutes before we had the gender reveal. He didn't specify what temperature the cake needed to be under. He just said...
Mr. Wright.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think he was getting? He said, put it in the refrigerator.
Absolutely, which I did, made room for it, but I just didn't expect it to be a gray cake.
A what?
When we cut the cake open, the cake was gray. Cut it open.
Did you follow his instructions on taking it out?
Yes, so we took it out. We probably let it sit for about 25 minutes, but I didn't think that 10-minute window would be a huge...
What do you mean you let it sit 25 minutes?
Well, because we were tending to our guests and we were about to do the gender reveal and time just went over more than we expected.
So you took it out 25 minutes before, you let it sit out 25 minutes before instead of 15, is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
And in your mind, you didn't think it would make a difference?
Yes, because he didn't emphasize that.
He said 15 minutes before. He got to stand there and go through a whole long song and dance and keep singing 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. 15 minutes is 15 minutes.
Yes, ma'am, but he didn't really specify
what should he have specified?
Because if it was that big of a deal, you would have thought he would have been more, just gave us more information. Like,
the man gave you instructions 15 minutes before the reveal, take the cake out.
Yes, ma'am.
And you wanted him to go ahead and do a song and dance about it. I don't understand. 15
I just wanted him to give me
15 minutes. Set your clock.
Correct, but I don't even know if the cake was, pink before it even got to us.
Just tell me of course you don't. You didn't bake it.
Right.
So just tell me what you saw when what happened with the cake.
Yes, so I saw a gray cake once she cut it open.
Is that the cake?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it gray?
Well, like I said, they did request that I used, they didn't want artificial coloring in it. They wanted natural coloring. That's something I can do. So I put natural color in it. The only difference is artificial color can last hours, maybe even a day. Natural coloring does not operate like that. It's coming from fruits, vegetables.
How long does it last?
It can last on a hot summer day, or on a regular day, it might last maybe at about an hour outside before the color can start degrading, disintegrating. But on a summer hot day that they had it and took it out, when I told them...
So why did you take it at 1 o'clock? And they told you they were going to have it at 5?
They received it at 2. Okay. I did have other orders that I had to drop off, but the whole purpose is to keep it refrigerated until you're ready to use it.
Okay, I understand that, but the color shouldn't change because you keep it refrigerated. And
well, yes, that's how natural coloring works. It's no artificial, no preservatives in it. It's nothing. It's
so
natural.
So what's in that natural color? What is it made of?
So in the natural pink, the pink that I use, I actually got that out of fruit, which is strawberries. I used the red juices that come out of that and mixed it into the white mix, and it created the pink color that they wanted. And as I did make the cake on that Friday, she actually texted me right before I was getting ready to make the cake, luckily. So I was able to make the 3 tiers. I made the 3 tiers, put the cake together, the cake was pink. I refrigerate my cakes the day before after I build them, and I ice in the day
But if you
of.
know natural color doesn't last that long, then it sounds like to me you can't bake the cake the day before if natural color doesn't last that long, and you can't bake the color. You can't bake it those hours before if you're dealing with natural color. Only you know the difference.
Well, you can, Your Honor, you can.
So you just said it didn't last that long.
As long as it stays refrigerated. It has to
Wasn't
stay.
it refrigerated at your house when you baked it the day before?
Yes, at my bakery, it was
right?
refrigerated.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you brought it out?
I have a refrigerator in my van. I have a refrigerated van that I brought it in. It was still being refrigerated.
When they asked for natural ingredients as opposed to artificial coloring, you knew then that there would be a distinction and that there would be a problem in terms of time, not a problem, but timing would be important in order to maintain that color. Did you not?
Yes.
From experience? Did you explain that to them ever?
No, I didn't explain it to
Why
them.
not?
I honestly didn't have time. When she wanted the color,
No, when she ordered natural ingredients versus artificial, you didn't sit down and say to her, now, ma'am, let me explain this to you. When you use natural coloring, because I certainly had no concept of that, versus artificial flavors, the colors don't last as long, or it changes colors or whatever. Something, because all they know is pink. And they don't know that it makes a difference whether it's artificial or natural colors. Did you?
No.
So you need to explain your product and what's going on when there is a distinction. Or maybe you shouldn't have made it the night before if the color changes.
well, the color doesn't change at all. As long as it's refrigerated, it can probably last up to 3 or 4 days, constantly being
Okay,
refrigerated.
then why did the color change? Because how long did you take it out?
No more than like 25 minutes.
So you left it out 25 minutes as opposed to 15 minutes.
Correct.
Coming up,
We did talk on the phone about the color changing. She couldn't even tell me an exact time. He's saying 25 minutes. She was saying 35 minutes. I don't know how long it was out.
Your Honor, I believe it was 25 minutes.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Walter and Phoebe Wright, who are suing Alan Romero for breach of contract.
It made that big of a difference.
Yes, but I also talked to them
So
over...
it sounds like the color changes in 10 minutes then.
Well, honestly, Your Honor, I don't know how long it was out, because before court, before anything, we did talk on the phone about the color changing, and she couldn't even tell me an exact time. He's saying 25 minutes. She was saying 35 minutes. I don't know how long it was out.
Your Honor, I believe it was 25 minutes. And I believe also that this is pure negligence on his part. We should have been told, certain information, because
You wanted a cake made from natural ingredients versus artificial. So since you knew the distinction of natural versus artificial, sounds like to me you had done some reading about natural ingredients and how they are versus artificial. The reason why did you want natural versus artificial?
well, because I want a beautiful, healthy baby. And,
Did you do some reading about natural colors, natural
To be honest,
colors
not
versus
really.
artificial?
Not really. Natural just sounded better. And
Right,
so,
just sounds good. It's hard for me to believe that it would take that much longer, but I don't have time to go do the research on it to know.
Well, Your Honor, the juice and the things that come out of it, it can react differently, especially when you're mixing it into another ingredient, chemical reaction, different things like that. It all plays a factor. But if you think about it, like an apple, a banana, different things. Soon as you peel it, it looks great. Soon as you cut an apple in half, it looks great. Give it about 15, 20 minutes.
It's gonna start turning brown.
It's gonna start turning brown. So that's as what I see with the cake. I put that in the actual mix of the actual cake, and once it oxidizes it oxidizes.
I don't believe it. I gotta take a break and go call my sister.
Coming up,
Because I know it's important to you, and I wanna know. I really do. So, Marilyn Walker, are you here?
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Walter and Phoebe Wright, who are suing Alan Romero for breach of contract.
I've called my sister Marilyn on the phone. She is a baker by trade and has been for a number of years, to ask her this important question, because I know it's important to you. It's important to you, and I want to know. I really do. So, Marilyn Walker, are you here?
I'm here.
Here's a question for you. I have the plaintiff's husband-wife wanted a gender reveal cake They hired the defendant to bake the cake, 3-tiered. They wanted the cake to be pink to reveal the gender of the baby when they cut it. They wanted natural ingredients, not artificial coloring. No artificial coloring, natural coloring. Defendant said he did that. He used fresh strawberries and the berries, right?
Yes.
Different berries, red, and so it would be pink. It was pink when he made the cake. He took it to the house. They put it in the refrigerator. He told them, pull it out 15 minutes before you get ready to cut it. 15 minutes. The plaintiffs say they pulled it out of the refrigerator, left it out 25 minutes at least. Is a dispute whether it was 25, 35, but it was more than the 15 minutes. When they cut the cake is now grayish looking as opposed to pink. Is it possible for a cake made with natural coloring to change colors and look grayish or some color other than pink if it's set out on a hot day, 25 minutes?
Yes, especially if it was a hot day, because strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries contain natural pigments, which are called anthocyanins. And the pigments react to the pH indicators and change color depending on the acidity of the environment, and it will change to a grayish or change the cake to a grayish or blue color.
Okay, thank you very much.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
Now, are you satisfied?
No, because I still feel like that was pure negligence on his part. If he knew this information...
Why was it negligence?
Because if he knew that whatever ingredients he was using, that it could potentially turn another color.
You said you didn't want him, you told him to use natural
Absolutely,
ingredients.
Your Honor.
Because you were mistaken.
Correct.
And believed that it would stay that color. But you didn't want the artificial coloring.
Correct.
You can't have it, you cake and eat it
Yes,
too.
but had he told me that information, I would have said, well, let's just use artificial.
You may have, and you may not have. You haven't proved that it was because he did something wrong or he did something that he shouldn't have done in baking the cake. You have not proved that. And that's what you have to prove for negligence to get money. Step him back up there next to your husband so he can hold you and make you feel all right. Negligence, you have to prove that someone breached their duty of care and did something they should not have done or failed to do something they should have done. Judgment for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The co-plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I should have asked you more questions, but you also could have told me important information.
In the future, it's a fundamental part of life to follow directions. Very important.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.